and we call it the iPad.
Samsung's been trying to catch up with Apple's iPad for a decade, with tablets like the Galaxy Tab A7 for the low-end markets to compete with Apple's budget iPad, and then high-end tablets like the upcoming Tab S8 to compete with the iPad Pro. But I've been looking through the latest leaks and rumors for Apple's upcoming 2022 iPad lineup, and it looks like Apple is going to completely revolutionize the tablet market in such a strong way that I don't think that Samsung will ever have a chance. And I know this because I've been digging into some of Apple's recent patent filings for the iPad Pro, and this stuff is absolutely incredible. So without further ado, I'm gonna lay out each and every iPad you should expect, including the specs, features, pricing, and release date, so you'll know if it's worth waiting or just buying one right now. So let's jump right into it. According to Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, there are 3 iPad models getting updates in 2022, including the entry-level iPad, the iPad Air, and the iPad Pro. So let's start off with the flagship before we move on to the less expensive models. First of all, since the iPad Pro has the M1 chip, it makes total sense for the next one to have the M2 chip, which isn't expected to be revealed until October of 2022 alongside the redesigned MacBook Air. So that means that the new iPad Pro should either be revealed in October or November. And the most exciting news is from Mark Gurman, who believes it's going to feature a new design with wireless charging support, and to be more specific, it's getting a glass back to do it, and it's also getting reverse wireless charging as well. And way back in September, Gurman said that you would even have the ability to charge AirPods by placing them on the back of the iPad. But the cool thing about this leak is that this was before the new AirPods 3 were released in October. And by far, the coolest feature that nobody was expecting on those new AirPods is MagSafe wireless charging, which we tested and showed off, and it actually also comes on the AirPods Pro as well. And making it even more exciting, Mark mentioned back in June that users will be able to use this new reverse wireless charging feature to charge their iPhones as well. So if you put these puzzle pieces together, it basically confirms that the iPad Pro will come with MagSafe charging. Because if you think about it, MagSafe is the only way that you'll be able to use your iPad and charge your AirPods or iPhone at the same time, especially since many people use keyboard cases like the Magic Keyboard. Now, of course, the current Magic Keyboard is pretty thick, so that raises some concerns about the new MagSafe charging feature working through the case, but check out these bombshell patent filings from Apple. First of all, Apple's been filing for many different patents concerning a new Magic Keyboard case, including ones with double hinges, which allow you to lay your iPad Pro flat while using it, and even a new storage area for the Apple Pencil within the hinge, which also recharges it. But digging even deeper into patent filings from 2020, I was able to find references to a MagSafe accessory case for the iPad, as well as references to MagSafe case concepts that could charge AirPods, which is mind-blowing because we literally just got MagSafe on AirPods support. And even way back in 2019, Apple won a patent for multiple device reverse wireless charging, with the device potentially being an iPad that would wirelessly charge another device like an iPhone or AirPods using alignment magnets and an inductive coil. But here is the absolute bombshell patent from less than a month ago that shows that Apple is actually working on this stuff. Apple just invented wireless charging iPad cases with magnetic cores, which use a permanent ring of magnets to gain appropriate alignment, which is pretty much explaining what MagSafe already is. And making it even better, the iPad being held by the case may serve as both a power transmitting and power receiving device, meaning that you'll be able to connect a MagSafe puck charger to the Magic Keyboard to pass through charge the iPad itself. And going deeper, Apple won a patent for replacing the physical iPad smart connector with a wireless power transfer system using an inductive coil to send power to an accessory device, which kind of sounds like MagSafe powering a Magic Keyboard through a glass back instead of through the physical smart connector. But even better, there was a patent that mentioned 3 different pairs of alignment magnets used to reverse wireless charge devices. So one set on the iPad itself, another within the Magic Keyboard, and the final one on the smaller device like an iPhone or AirPods, all fit with inductive charging coils. And here's the real banger. Apple invented a Magic Keyboard that will be able to recharge an iPhone, Apple Watch, and AirPods case, with the devices being held in place using magnets. Yes, once again, the already existing MagSafe system. And they even invented a reverse wireless charging solution that could charge accessories like AirPods through the display of an iPad, which means it would also work with the back glass as well. And by far, the most interesting one is that they showed off an image of a Magic Keyboard with 2 separate charging coils. One to pass through charge the iPad itself, and another to either accept charge from a MagSafe puck or to reverse charge an iPhone or AirPods case. And if you're wondering why that image looks a bit weird, it's because it's a utility patent and not a design patent. So the actual device will look dramatically different. So that right there is gonna be the new banger feature for the redesigned iPad Pro. But other than the back glass, we could potentially get a titanium chassis based on various patents that Apple has filed for, and many leaks of the iPhone 14 coming with a titanium chassis. On top of that, the 11-inch iPad Pro size is finally expected to get the new mini LED display, which is currently exclusive to the 12.9-inch model, which is why I think the base price of the iPad Pro will jump up to at least $899 in 2022. And going further, we even got some leaks pointing to the next iPad Pro coming with horizontal cameras to fix that bad selfie video from the side issue, alongside a landscape Apple logo. But we're not sure if that's coming next year or if it's coming later. And other than that, we could potentially see a new Apple Pencil, which will be a bit shorter with a redesigned tip. And once again, I expect this new iPad Pro to come in either October or November, and I personally think it's gonna destroy the upcoming Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 on so many levels that it won't even be funny. And now, with that said, let's move on to the updated iPad Air 5, which is probably gonna be a fair match to Samsung's flagship Tab S8. What's really important to mention is that the iPad Air 4 that we currently have in our office is in a very weird spot right now because it's $100 more expensive than the iPad Mini 6 while coming with an older A14 chip instead of the new A15. So because of that, it makes sense for Apple to refresh the Air sooner rather than later, so the whole chip situation will make sense again. And that would essentially mean that Apple will bring all the new features from the iPad Mini 6 to the upcoming Air 5, like the A15 chip, optional 5G connectivity, and the center stage feature with the new selfie camera, at the minimum, pretty much guaranteed. Now earlier in 2021, it was rumored that the new Air would come with an OLED display, but according to Min Chi Kuo, those plans were canceled, with Apple choosing to stick to LCD for this update. And the only other piece of info we have about the Air is that the design is going to remain unchanged with the same 10.9-inch display and Touch ID power button on the side, except that it would adopt the squarish camera bump with the dual camera system from the iPad Pro, potentially with LiDAR. And it may even come with a 4-speaker audio system as well, which would be really nice because I love that difference on the iPad Pro. And in my opinion, I don't think that it's gonna come with the 120Hz ProMotion feature from the iPad Pro or anything else like that. It's just gonna be a simple update to bring it up to spec. And I personally believe it's gonna arrive sometime in the spring, either in March or April, since the iPad Air 3 was shown off at Apple's March event in 2019, so I think that Apple could do the same thing with the Air 5 in 2022. Now with the iPad Air out of the way, the final iPad that we have to discuss is the 10th generation budget iPad. For the past 3 years, Apple has released their budget iPad in September, so I can expect Apple to do that again this year. And the most important thing we need to understand about the budget iPad is that Apple usually gives it very minimal updates in order to keep the price down at the same $329 starting price that it's been at since the iPad 5 in 2017. Like for example, the iPad 7 only had 3 upgrades: the larger 10.2-inch display, an extra gig of RAM, and the addition of the smart connector. And then a year later, the iPad 8 literally only got 1 upgrade, a faster A12 chip, and nothing else. And that's actually been the case for the iPad for years, with Apple keeping it on a tick-tock cycle, changing the design or display one year and then upgrading the chip or other features the next. But they broke that cycle with the iPad 9, because for the 3rd update in a row, it stuck with the same 10.2-inch display while focusing on other upgrades like more base storage, a faster A13 chip, and a major 12-megapixel selfie camera upgrade. So because of that, I fully expect the iPad 10 to come with a new design with a larger display, and I think there are 2 scenarios for how they can pull this off. The first scenario would be for the iPad to adopt the iPad Air 3's body, which had a larger 10.5-inch display size while having a thinner design. And then they could simply change not much else in order to continue to sell it at the same $329 base price, which is actually something that was rumored to happen back in 2020, but obviously that never happened. And Mark Gurman even mentioned a new, thinner entry-level iPad back in June, which never came to be, so a new thinner 10.5-inch model could make sense for the iPad 10. However, we also have the second scenario, which is what we all want from Apple: a full redesign with the new modern flat sides, the removal of the home button to give us a beautiful even bezel display, and support for the 2nd-gen Apple Pencil, stereo speakers, and maybe even an upgraded A14 chip. And in that case, Apple would no doubt bring the starting price up to $399. But in my honest opinion, I feel like Apple could easily get away with the old 10.5-inch design for just 1 more year, which would help push customers towards the more expensive iPad options. And in reality, we haven't seen any leaks pointing to a full redesign of this iPad, while everyone is already talking about the new iPad Pro redesign. So we've got to keep our expectations conservative for the budget model. But even without a full redesign, I still believe it's a better buy than any tablet that Samsung has to offer on the lower end, just for the App Store and reliability alone. So there you guys go. Those are the 3 new iPads that we should be expecting in 2022. And if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and click the circle above to subscribe for more videos like this one, and definitely check out one of those 2 videos right over there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.